Hi guys, this is Haunted Skull on Nostalgiatronics UK, and today's video is going to be the very first Halloween video on this channel, and it's going to be a bit of a restoration video. The one that we are going to be restoring in this video is the Grave Raver Devil. This is my second Grave Raver Devil. I did have another one before this, but he got water damage and completely fried out. So happy I managed to get another one. This one's actually in really good condition as well. He doesn't move currently, but he's actually a lot louder than my other one too, which is also good. So yeah, I'll just give you a quick demo of how this one works. Lights work. Both motors are working. So yeah, in this video it's going to be mainly a restoration on this guy. I'll split this off into another video. But yeah, so usually how I take these guys apart, I work on the main dancing mechanism first, just to get the bulk of it out of the way. And what you usually do is, at least on the Devil one, you cut one of these stitches. Don't actually cut the fabric. If you cut one of the stitches and then unthread it, it actually will come apart, and you'll be able to put it back nicely afterwards, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stitch this up as well once it's all done. So I'm going to do that and go into this guy. So let's get to it. So what I've done now, just a quick update. I've removed all the thread from what was keeping this together. It was also slightly stitched on the top of the jacket, but I've cut that as well, which I'll obviously redo afterwards. And the last thing that keeps us together is this tiny zip tie around the neck. If you're careful, you can remove it without cutting it, but I'm just going to replace it afterwards, so we can just pull that out of the slot right there. But yeah, this is kind of how it looks in the next stages. What you'll need to do next is probably remove the head. At least I usually do it this way anyway. So you have this little kind of like washer piece that keeps this pin in place right here. And once that's off, that'll be able to slide out very easily. I believe this somehow comes off as well, this piece here. But I'll have to have a look into that. But that's basically what we do next. So I can confirm that you take this piece off and the little washer there. Make sure you keep both of these pieces safe, otherwise you won't be able to attach the head properly. So what we do now is, as you can see, this rod right here, it should slide out. Let's try and do it on camera here. In fact, it's probably best we get that pin out that was kept in place there. So we get the pin out, and that should make the head loose, and it comes off just like that. There's the Grave Raver Devil's head. But there you go. So what we're left to do with now is to actually just take the suit off, pretty much, and get inside this dancing mechanism here. With the main jacket off, should have good access from here. I have removed one of the hands just because this piece is a bit yellowed, because I don't want any tension going on that whatsoever. And I'll of course put it back on afterwards with those tiny screws there. Another thing I'll probably note as well is to when these are fixed, glue this fabric back down, because I think this actually stops the hands from twisting around too much. Because I think I missed this step out on fixing my other one, and it kind of did that often. But yeah, I'm gonna remember to do this time, so it'll work even better. But what we do now, obviously pull this off, and take the sleeve through there, and we're gonna get all of these. In fact, yeah, we're gonna remove these arm pieces first, and then we're gonna just pretty much go all around this and take all these screws out. And yeah, the culprit for this problem I haven't really said yet, but there's it is very likely to be a split gear, because it's usually what happens with these. Pretty much all the Grave Ravers I've ever had, they've had the exact same problem with the 8-tooth gear being split in here and the 9-tooth gear being split in here. So this is going to be a good tutorial on how to fix one of these, if any of you are wondering. And this is a 2009 model of the Devil, as I've already said. I think the wires are better quality on these ones compared to the 2010, 2011 ones. So hopefully none of these pull off, but don't quote me on that. So we'll get on to the next step. I'll show you how to take one of these arms off first, if any of you are wondering. So there's 2 screws right at the bottom. We'll get them in a minute. There we go. Let's get that one as well. Sometimes it's easier doing this manually when... Okay, there you go. So that's freed the arm up. And what you'll want to do is take this off. And once you've got these off, you can change how they actually move. So if you wanted to, you could have the arms moving like together, or you could have one moving at a time, and etc. But that's kind of like how you do it. I'm gonna have this one in its original form just because I haven't had my other Grave Raver Devil in that way. But these gears are what make the arms work, which is really cool. And it kind of does have a bobbing mechanism as well, which it's all part of this, and it makes this move up and down whilst it moves. It's a really cool design in my opinion. So now this is a part, I can give you a better look at and idea of how this thing actually works. So when taking this apart, one thing I keep in mind, if it's not coming apart, make sure to unscrew the screw that's keeping this cap on down here. Don't press your screwdriver into it, otherwise it'll damage it and it'll catch onto the fabric whilst it's moving, because this moves side to side of course. Take the belt off, because that's something that will keep the motor from actually coming out. Remove both of the arm gears, and as well as the shaft, because that is somehow jamming it in. Take the square shaft out as well, and after that is done, you should have all this out. So we're just going to give a little inspection of this here. This is how it works. So this gear moves, it makes the mechanism bob up and down, as you can kind of see. This gear controls the arms and the head. So it moves that rod and makes the head move a little bit. But this gear, you can see, is very loose on the shaft. I've shown this in the Singing Fish repair video. It's the same exact problem, and it is that belt shaft gear being split. It's the same exact as a motor shaft one actually. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull it from the actual pulley, and that will come off just like that. I think that's a 9-tooth from just looking at it on camera, but you can kind of see the crack in it. Just right there. I'm not really pointing out the best, but I'm gonna put a new one on here and see how that looks. Okay, so the new gear is on the shaft, and one thing I've got to say is that gears on or this shaft on Grave Ravers in general is just a pain to get a gear on. Like you will have to push it against a hard surface and ensure you don't damage that gear. Like push on top of the gear and push it down onto the shaft, and it should go in there. I know that the turning mechanism is actually much harder with the 8-tooth gear because it's a much more compact mechanism. I think last time I used a vise to compress that gear onto the shaft, but we'll see how this one goes. But the best thing is this should work now. You can see it does not jam anymore, which is the best thing. Might actually grease that gear up because it's a bit weird, but yeah, you will. One of the things I would advise when putting this on actually is to just fully take this thing off. Like you'll be so much better off just taking the entire gearbox off to ensure you don't break any of these pieces here. Otherwise, just, if you don't have one for parts, it's definitely a bad situation. Okay, just before we put this back together, I've kind of reassembled this now, put some of the screws in, but not all of them. The belt's back on, the square shaft gears and the head rod either side are on. So I'm going to give you a demo of to see if this works. So here we go. There we go, everything's looking nice.
This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot.
It's basically what makes it move.
This is why I'm hot. This is why I'm hot. I'm hot because I'm...
So that's how a Grave Raver actually works. It's really cool actually. It's a very nice design. As you can see, these drive the arms. This moves slightly and moves the head, as I already mentioned, and it bobs up and down. Really cool mechanism overall, and it works very nicely. I thought this belt was going to need replacing, but if I do hold it, you can actually test if the belt's bad. If you hold the mechanism and it stops, it means it's bad, but this seems to be okay. So that's all good. It seems a little slack, but I'll probably replace it eventually, but for now it's good. But yeah, there we go. That's how to fix the dancing mechanism on a Grave Raver. So I'm just going to reassemble this and we'll fix the turning mechanism. Okay guys, so fully put a Grave Raver Devil back together. Just did all the steps in reverse that I did at the start. And yeah, he dances perfectly now. Get the idea. So what we're going to do next is fix the side-to-side mechanism, which you take these 4 screws out, and I'll skip to the part where I've opened it. So there we go. So once the 4 screws are done, this is all it is that we really need to deal with. You can see it's working. And it's actually in very nice condition, this mechanism, and it's not yellowed in one bit. So let's try and show this the best. What we need to do now is take out them 2 screws and pull this out, because this is actually attached into the leg of the Devil, so it's got some sort of friction there, but it should slide right out. So the culprit of this issue, once again, split gear, is actually that loose. As soon as I took the belt off, this literally just shut out, so definitely needs to be replaced. As I said earlier in the video, this is the harder one to do, just because of this compact size gearbox. There you go, that's it's an 8-tooth gear, this one is, I think. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to get a new one out of this parts box. There's quite a couple of different types of 8-tooth gears. I've got the ones with the round ends and also them ones which are probably the better fit. Let's see if we can get it there. Yeah, this one's probably the best fit for that. So I'm going to fit that onto the shaft and we should be good to go. Before I put it back together, I might as well show you what it looks like when it's working. So here we go. There we go. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to put a zip tie back around the neck, stitch him all back up, and he'll pretty much be perfect. So yeah. Okay, so after probably about an hour of repair, doing all this carefully, I've managed to fully fix my second Grave Raver Devil 2009 version, and yeah, it's been a really fun fix. I'd have to say next to Singing Fish, I'd say Grave Ravers are my second favourite thing to work on. But it's really fun getting inside these mechanisms and retweaking how everything works, and also I can readjust the arms. It's very common for both gears to be split on these nowadays, because they are only 8 and 9-tooth gears, which split more than 10-tooth ones. But yeah, I've got him posed just like how he was originally, so without any further ado, let's show you this guy in action. There we go, it works perfectly. I think he's on low batteries, that's why it's not really moving as quick as you should do, but yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So happy I've got another one of these in my collection, because it was really sad seeing my other one fry out. I haven't had to use any parts from that one, by the way. I used all of his original parts, which is always good. So yeah, hopefully one day I manage to get that UK exclusive Living La Vida Loca Ghost. I even remember seeing it in stores and I kick myself every time I come to think of it. I would also like to get the Grave Raver Witch one day, because I know that was also sold over here. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.